what point, when it comes to Mittelstadt, I want to use him more as an example. I think back to Tage Thompson, and it's easy now. You see a superstar. That's what he is. He's turned into a superstar. And last year he became a star player. Well, before that, bust, nothing, mediocre, run out of town by fans, get rid of him. The worst trade ever with Ryan O'Reilly. They got nothing back. They got a bunch of trash back, including Tage Thompson. That was the mindset not all that long ago, right?
Yeah.
Do you think because, which is an outlier, typically speaking, if a player is that bad, you don't become one of the best players in the NHL. But do you think to some extent maybe the organization is having an abundance of patience with a guy like, say, Casey Mittelstadt? Because it's like what we see right now. Look, I'm no analytics guy. I'm no advanced stat guy. Okay. But I do have, a set of functioning eyeballs, and I watch the games, and I don't like what I see from Casey Mittelstadt. I don't know what the charts say. I know they say not good things about him. Right. And I don't like the way he's playing. And at what point does Granato say, all right, man, this isn't working, and we got to scratch him. We got to do something. We got to figure something out. And you could probably use Olofsson as well. I guess what I'm asking you is, when you see Tage Thompson transform into what he's become compared to what he was, do you kind of think that we should give Casey Mittelstadt more time? Like, am I burying him? Not me, but a lot of Sabres fans. Are we burying this guy too quick right now? Or do you feel like at this point of his career, he's played enough games, we've seen enough, he's played enough minutes in top 6, top 9, ice time, that is this what you see is what you're going to get? Get rid of him now if you can.
It's tough because the injury stuff he had to deal with last year really just set him back, because he was ready. Lance and I agree on this. We think he was ready to bust out last year because he had a great camp, looked like fantastic shape, the whole thing. He was ready to go. And then he gets hurt like the first game of the season. And then he's not really a factor in the lineup for another 3 months after that. And you're like, oh, that stinks. I think the organization really likes him. I think they like him a lot, which I think is why they're as patient as they are with him. And they know they got to work stuff out. I also think there's a bit of an unfair expectation for Granato to fix everybody who comes through now, because Tyson Jost was a number 10 pick in the draft, and he got traded from Colorado last season to Minnesota, misses out on a Stanley Cup because of it. Like, that sucks. Like, you got trade deadline swap with Minnesota, and loses out on playing for a cup for the team that drafted him, and played there for like 3-4 years, whatever it was. So they pick him up on waivers, they bring him in here, and then people start thinking like, oh, well, Don fixed Tage, so he's got to be able to fix Jost too. And it's like, well, sometimes guys' skill sets have to adjust to what they are as NHL pros. Like, what they were in college or juniors or whatever is not what they're always destined to become as pros. Like, sometimes you just got to change your game up to fit in and play more effectively. Like, that's just how it goes. I think in Casey's case, he's such an offensive-minded player that I'm not saying you can't help him become a better defensive player. And I don't think his defense is that big of a problem right now. He's pretty good on the PK, honestly. Like, he's been pretty good there. But to be a better, well-rounded player, there's some of that aspect, because right now, I mean, he's their face-off guy, kind of, which is a little weird, but that face-offs are just a giant team-wide issue. Just if you need them for the big ones, then okay, win those.
Sure.
But it's they're being patient with him, because who wants to be the team that gives up a guy that just needed an extra year or something like that, or just needed to have the right coach or person or player to bend their ear, or have the right experience where now everything clicks and now I've got it. Like, he's just firing. You basically don't want to give away the next Tage Thompson. It's kind of the
right.
scare.
That's what I'm getting. And is it easy